Stephen.
I'll allow that.
Strange, but I'll allow that.
I'll allow that. All right, man. You ready?
Let's do it. It'll be quick.
In 3, 2.
Welcome to SuperTalk, the emergency podcast dedicated to reviews of trailers that drop on the internet. I'm your host, Brian Professor Pedersen. With me, as always, is my illustrious co-host, Titanium Tony Estrella. Titanium, it's episode 33.5.
33 and a half, yeah.
Yes.
We're cutting in early this week because an interesting trailer dropped for our beloved Spider-Man. And I see you're decked out in Spider-Man gear. Let's go.
Got to do it. So, look, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks, folks. We knew this was coming. We just didn't know when. Well, as a matter of fact, we've been talking about it for months. The internet's been all over. What the heck is going on with the trailer? But I think for the last 2 weeks, we've been assuming that it was coming out this week because of CinemaCon, and we were right. It did come out last night, and we got a big trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
So, what'd you think? I mean, there's a lot to talk about. A lot in a very small trailer.
Yeah,
but
we're going to make this as short as possible. This is a special episode that we're doing, but I thought it was good. I thought it was good. You have to remember this is a teaser. Was I blown away? No. Did I cry like a lot of people on the internet during their reaction videos? No. But
there were people crying.
People cried on social media. They were like, "I was in tears." Come on. It was a teaser, and it definitely got me very interested in the movie. I didn't think it was as crowded. Maybe they're hiding a lot, but we got a lot of the story and what's going to unfold. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it came out. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Okay. It was a lot of what we knew for sure. We knew Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange was going to be in the movie. We knew he was going to be a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
Because of the toy releases and some of the promotional content that Marvel's already put out for this movie. We knew he was going to be in it. And he was a prevalent part of the trailer. Huge part of the trailer.
Yeah.
And we also knew some of the things that we saw at the end were coming. So, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. But there's so much that we know they're going to keep hidden from us.
Yeah,
that's typical Marvel and Sony. There's rumors rampant about this movie, and they didn't break any of that yesterday.
No, but they did reveal quite a few things. Some of my favorite highlights of the trailer for me was a glimpse of the black suit. I thought that was really cool.
Very short
glimpse of the black suit. The pumpkin bomb from the Green Goblin, that was really cool. Unexpected.
And his laugh.
Yeah, I did not think that was coming.
Yeah.
We got Doc Ock, like you predicted last episode, SuperTalk episode 33. Professor predicted we're going to get a closing scene of Doc Ock come out, and that's exactly what happened. A lot of theories. We see some electricity, some yellow electricity, not blue. So we know Electro's in the movie. I'm assuming that's
in those scenes with the electricity, there was a bunch of sand as well. So does that mean sand?
Was that sand? Yeah. Was it a cloud?
Dust?
Was it sand?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Those are some of the theories, but I think the trailer picks up right where the last movie ended, where he's outed, and I think he's flying through the city with MJ on his arm, and they get up on top of that bridge, I think, and all the helicopters are surrounding him, and that's pretty cool that they picked it up right there. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I think they gave us at least an intro into maybe the first third of the movie. It really centers around Peter's identity being exposed by Mephisto. Not Mephisto.
Oh, you said it. You said it. You said it before I did. Yes.
Yeah. Mysterio.
Yes.
Parker's identity gets outed by Mysterio at the end of Far From Home. And he's running through the city like, oh my god, I can't believe my identity's been outed. And MJ and Ned are caught into the...
And Happy and all the crew and
all the
Aunt May.
Yeah. They're all caught into this. And, you know, you hear at one point in time during the trailer, MJ says, is there any part of you relieved that you don't have to hide anymore? And he's like, well, I never really wanted to hide. I never intentionally hid the fact that I was Spider-Man.
He realizes
but I had to.
Yeah, it puts them in danger.
Right. You know,
he realizes that. And now they are in danger.
Right. And we see a lot of that. So, and you know, his life is miserable. He's going to school. Everybody's holding their cell phones up. And I'm like, okay. You're just outed as Spider-Man, one of the Avengers. Are you really going to go to school the next day? Yeah. Really? You're just going to walk into school?
Yeah, I get it.
You'd be staying home for a couple weeks.
It's like the storyline where I guess he sees an image of some Halloween lights and it's like a wizard or something that's kind of painted like Doctor Strange. And he goes to Doctor Strange for help, right? So he's asking Doctor Strange to reverse the fact that everybody
An interesting
knows.
Scene there, because they walks into the sanctum and Doctor Strange is in a winter coat and there's snow filling the Sanctum Sanctorum.
I thought at first it was when Hulk blasted through the Sanctum Sanctorum, but the steps are fixed. Why wouldn't they fix the ceiling?
The entire thing is filled with snow and they're in winter coats.
What? Well, we don't know.
We don't know
what's going on.
But he asked him for help. He's like, you know, hey, I need your help. Is there any way that you can... Everybody knows who I am now. Is there any way you can fix it so nobody knows my identity more? And he's like, oh, there might be a spell. And Wong makes an appearance and says, oh, don't cast that spell. It's very dangerous.
Do not do that spell, yeah.
And he's like, okay. And he winks.
As he blasts through one of those portals.
Right.
I think he's going back to... Comatage. That's what it looked like in the portal. Okay.
But he, you know, he and Spider-Man go downstairs in the basement. It looks like of the Sanctum, and they cast this spell, and it looks like something goes wrong during the casting of a spell. Now, popular theories are that while they're casting this spell, so what Peter didn't understand is Doctor Strange is going to make it so nobody knew his identity anymore, including Aunt May, MJ, Ned. And he's like, whoa, I want all those people to know, but not everybody. And something goes wrong, goes haywire, everything gets flipped upside down, and they're like, holy crap, something happened.
It makes it seem like he's blaming Spider-Man or Peter Parker for talking and messing up the spell that he's trying
Your desire to leave two lives, you know, is what's screwing things up. But it also looked like, potentially, is it possible they were casting that spell at the moment that Sylvie...
The sacred timeline.
That Sylvie killed... The He Who Remains.
I can't imagine Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, screws up that badly and breaks open the multiverse. I think,
and then blames it on Spider-Man.
And then blames it on Spider-Man. I think there's other things at work here, and I think we're going to find out as part of the plot. And
it looks like at later on in the trailer that the two of them are fighting against each other.
Yeah,
it looks like he. I remember the scene on the train on top of the train where he's making. It looks like he's fighting against Spider-Man, and then at one point in time he pushes his soul out of his body.
Yeah,
while Spider-Man was holding some kind of box,
some kind of weird magical box. Yeah, there's theories about that box.
But we got a very dark, kind of silhouetted version of the Lizard swiping at Spider-Man.
Was that Lizard or Venom?
It was a Lizard, not Venom. It would be one of the other...
Okay.
So, I mean, think about it. What they're basically doing is setting up the Sinister Six, right? So we have Mysterio, the Lizard, Electro, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, so that's 5. Yeah. So the only other one would be potentially Vulture. Is he going to show up?
Right.
You know, so we don't know who Sandman, right? Could be Sandman, right? But anyway, look. Then we got, again, to your point earlier, Titanium. We got some teasers. We got a Green Goblin bomb. We got some electricity and a bunch of other things. So they're making it seem like all these other villains from the other Spider-Man movies are converging on.
Here's my question:
Tom Holland.
When the spell went bad by Doctor Strange, did they get ported somewhere? Because it kind of looked like they went somewhere.
Remember the two of them were flying into the hole. Remember the entire city was folding in on itself?
Yeah.
And the two of them were falling down through that hole. So did they go somewhere?
I think that's during the fight scene. I think they're going to fight each other at some point, and I think that's during the fight scene. I think that in the basement when the spell goes wrong or something, either they go somewhere or they open something up to bring people through the multiverse. I can't wait to find that out. But my theory is that they went somewhere and they're in a parallel universe with all these characters.
Here, I mean, literally, here's what we learned. the first part of the movie is really going to be dealing with Peter's identity being exposed and how that's changing his life and making it difficult for him and all of his friends and family.
Yeah.
He goes to Doctor Strange for help. They try to fix it, and something happens, or they screw up, or something bad.
Which I don't think Doctor Strange would screw up, but maybe he's so arrogant now in his
little cocky after he beats Thanos.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I see him wearing the Eye of Agamotto, but does he have the Time Stone in there? We don't know. These are cool things, cool little Easter eggs.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he goes to them, and then something happens, and then we get some villains. Now, again, the rumors about what's going on with this movie, as Titanium's talked about before, it seems incredibly busy. All of those villains that we talked about from all the different Spider-Man versions, both the Tom Holland version, the Tobey Maguire version and the Andrew Garfield version, they're going to show up in this movie. We know confirmed Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Confirmed Alfred Molina as Doc Ock.
Willem Dafoe playing very coy.
Most likely, yes. We heard his
Very
voice,
coy.
right? Yeah. But Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman,
Maybe not.
Not confirmed yet.
There's been rumors that Mr. Negative is part of this this movie, and I don't know if that's true or not. There was no indication of that, so we don't know. We know the Vulture is going to be in Morbius, right? So who knows? Now, you had said something earlier. You had said something that maybe this is mirroring one of the comics, The Last Day. One more day.
Yeah, there was a really controversial back in, I think it was like 2007.
It wasn't very popular, was it?
No. So what had ended up happening is the Civil War storyline occurred in the comic books, and during that storyline, Peter Parker exposed his own identity,
right?
Because he was on the side of Captain America, and he exposed his own
Iron Man.
Really, he was on the side of Captain America.
Interesting,
but he exposed his own identity.
Okay.
When he was kind of aligned with Iron Man on Iron Man said to show, hey, I'm the most secretive, nobody knows who I ever knows who I am, and I'm exposing myself, so you should go out and register. And then eventually he ended up going over to Captain America's side because of the things that happened from there. But he exposed his identity during Civil War, so then everybody in the world knew who he was. Marvel, and as I mentioned to you, I've said this a million times, Spider-Man's secret identity is one of the most sacred things in the history of Marvel Comics.
No question, of course.
And they outed him during the Civil War comic book storyline. And everybody at Marvel's like, we don't like this.
Yeah.
The fact that nobody knows he's Spider-Man is a good thing. We need to fix this. So they created this. It was actually only 2 issues in the comic books called One More Day. And Aunt May had been shot by the Kingpin, or it was an assassin that the Kingpin hired to kill Spider-Man.
Right.
Because Kingpin now who knew who Spider-Man was.
Yeah.
He knew he was Peter Parker, so he hired an assassin to kill him. And Aunt May gets shot, and she's dying.
Oh, boy.
And Peter Parker's like, I got to find a way to save Aunt May. He goes to Iron Man, says, hey, I need some money. He gives him some money. Then he goes to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange needs to figure out, we need to fix this. We need to save her life. Can't do it. He ends up going to Doctor Doom, Mr. Fantastic. He goes to everybody he knows who could have any power or influence over this, and they are like, we can't help you. Eventually, he gets contacted by Mephisto.
Right.
The big M. Right? Mephisto says...
He makes a deal with Mephisto.
He says, I'll make a deal with you. I'll save her life. And I don't need your soul. What I want in exchange is your relationship with MJ. And they were married at the time in the comic books.
Yeah.
And he said, you're no longer going to be married. You will no longer be together. And you will never be together. I'm going to feed off of the energy of you guys not being together. That's what I'm going to... And because he knows MJ was good for him. So from a Marvel Comics perspective, it was a way for them to undo 2 things that they were stuck in.
And everybody forgot. Mephisto made it believe that everybody forgot who he was.
That was MJ's bargain. So MJ made a bargain with Mephisto, said, oh, and if you can have everybody forget his secret identity, let's do that too.
Got it.
Because Peter's motivation was to save Aunt May.
Right.
Everything else didn't matter. What ended up happening is he wakes up and he's now kind of somewhat a teenager again, and nobody knows who he is anymore. And so he was no longer with MJ, and he was somewhat of a teenager again, and nobody knew his identity. So basically, he was back to square one, and they rebooted Spider-Man in the comic books. everybody hated it.
Yeah.
Like the entire comic book audience was like, this is such crap.
Yeah.
You just undid the last 25 years or 20 years of Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
And they kind of had to undo it in the future. But yeah, a lot of what's happening here is exactly what happened in One More Day. He does something dramatic to get everybody to forget who he is, forget his identity, and it was with Mephisto in the comic books. So is Mephisto part of this?
I'm not saying it. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to predict it. But it could be.
Maybe.
You never know. But I like the fact that they're cracking open the multiverse. I like the fact that they're getting into it. I don't like the fact that I think Doctor Strange is at fault here, even though it was kind of Spider-Man and stuff.
That was the strangest thing to me. The strangest thing from my perspective was how eager he was to help him.
Yes.
Even knowing how dangerous the spell he was going to cast was.
Right.
How he screwed up the spell.
Yeah.
Right? How screwing up the spell he then blamed on Spider-Man.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Right. The fact that you're living two lives is putting us all in danger.
Yeah.
You know? And that just doesn't seem like Doctor Strange.
Right. That was,
And a lot of that seems weird. So, question, is it possible that that isn't Doctor Strange?
Huh. You know, I did think that when he was doing the multiple trains, that Doctor Strange was all in black instead of the blue, red, the colorful kind of outfit that he's in. He was all in black. Could there be two? That's what I'm saying. Could they have been transported to another multiverse?
Knows?
Yeah, interesting.
Who knows? I think, here's what we know. Doctor Strange is a big, big part of this movie.
Oh,
and a big part of this plot.
Bigger than I thought.
I do feel that they're going to find some way to undo Peter's identity being exposed.
Okay.
Somehow, some way they're going to do that because it's just not good for the
Yeah, and fans didn't react well from it back in the comic days, and I don't like it either.
I think they'll find a way to undo that. It seems like to me, we've heard Charlie Cox is going to be in there as Daredevil, or Matt Murdock being his lawyer.
About when he was chained in the interrogation room that Charlie Cox was one of the lawyers. No, the guy was,
who knows?
Yeah, I don't think so. The guy was.
But I think
bigger.
we might see it. But we've been told that that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
We've been as
he
much
needs the
as
lawyer up.
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire have denied it. We believe that they're in this movie, and that's something that Marvel's been very good about doing this forever. They always keep stuff close to the vest and hidden until they want us to know. And it could be like the week before the movie comes out, all of a sudden we'll get a trailer with Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire Tobey and Andrew Garfield all together.
And boys and girls, remember, Sony is setting up their own Spider Universe here. They're setting up their own with Kraven, with Venom, from what I'm reading is that's what they ultimately want, and they're going to share Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's going to be part of both these universes.
I think they're going to be much more integrated than we think.
I would love that, and I think that's a home run for both of them.
Yeah. I think at one point in time, Sony was setting up a Spider-Verse that was a big universe of Spider-Man villains and characters. I think now Spider-Man, Sony and Marvel's universes are much more aligned. And I think what they're going to do is do what you said, bring in the Sinister Six, bring in Venom and Carnage and Kraven and Morbius and all these other Sony characters into the MCU. And I think we're now having that combined universe that we ever always hoped that we would.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So overall thoughts of the teaser trailer.
It was exactly what I expected.
Okay.
It was nice to see product, that they had done some stuff, and that to kind of see how they were kind of making it go.
Yeah.
Did it make me any more excited for the movie? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how involved Doctor Strange was, and that was a good surprise. But I'm still as cautious as you are about the plot line, how busy things are, how many people are going to be part of this movie, and where they're going with it, and ultimately what the end of this movie is going to bring.
Yeah,
that I still have some caution.
Yeah, me too. I'm in your boat. I think there's some hesitation on my part. like the Eternals teaser that came out, that did not excite me whatsoever. It actually turned me off to the movie. But then the trailer came out, and I got a little more of the storyline and saw a little bit more. But this is the same thing. I think the build-up was the expectation of what they were going to show us was overwhelming. It could never live up to the hype that it was put up. So, saying that, as a teaser, I thought it was good. It gave me more than what I expected. I love the nugget of the Green Goblin. I thought that was awesome. I can't wait for more of that. I don't know about the Doctor Strange decision. It doesn't seem like him, so that'll be interesting to find out more.
Well, think about it. We've got 3 potential Spider-Man villains who died in the movies they were in.
Right.
The Green Goblin died.
They all come back.
Doc Ock died.
Yeah.
He was drowning in the Hudson River at the end of that movie, right? And the Lizard died.
Yeah.
So these are, look, this is interesting. Very
Osborn died.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. I'm hesitant, but I like it. So give us more.
Yeah, and I think what this does is this trailer will be in the theaters with Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
We'll get this trailer in the big screen with Shang-Chi, but the closer we get to December, we'll get more. I mean, you know how the hype machine goes, but they're going to hold a lot of this stuff close to the vest, and then they'll give us a little bit of tidbits, kind of as we get closer to the movie to get us to go to the theater. So
good stuff. Well,
yeah, I mean, look, this is Marvel and Sony for sure, but Marvel's still #1 property. Spider-Man is the most popular, the most important, the biggest box office draw from a character perspective.
Absolutely.
For Marvel, and Sony just happens to own the rights to him, but he is still #1. And look, they need this movie to do well for sure.
It's going to do well. I think. Yeah. I'm still fearful that it's going to get crowded with all these characters they got to pull into there, but very impressed with what they got so far, and still I need more to make a final decision.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
Cool. Well, that's it.
Let's ring the bell.
Yeah, let's ring the bell.
Call it a show.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we'll be back next weekend for more Super Talk. And if you want to get in touch with us, hit us up via email, supertalkpodcast@outlook.com or @supertalkpod on Twitter. Until this weekend, stay super, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, YouTube.
Thanks, YouTube.
Thank you so much. We're going to do more of these little halves shows as trailers drop and big things hit the airwaves. So thank you.
We absolutely will.